This is the story of Cassie Bowden, a flight attendant who woke up next to a dead man, Alex. This is part 3 in the series. You can watch the other parts in the description below. In a flashback, Cassie and her brother Davey help their dad with the Christmas lights. Davey is afraid of heights, so Cassie and their dad tease Davey for being a scaredy cat. Cassia's dad says she can grab a beer. Suddenly, a plane is about to crash. Cassie remembers this moment as why she wanted to be a flight attendant in the first place. Back to the present, Sabrina's body is being brought away. She had been pushed off the building, and Cassie thinks it was Miranda. However, people think Sabrina had unalived herself. She admits the conspiracy surrounding Alex to FBI agent White without even realizing the repercussions. Her lawyer/best friend Annie tells her to shut up. The next day, Annie has a debt to pay to the mob. She rushes out the door. Once Cassie wakes up, Max gives her coffee, but she also reaches for the vodka as well. The two talk about Unisphere, which they think is part of Alex's murder. Cassie talks to the dead Alex and tells him she feels like Sabrina's death is all her fault. She hopes Annie doesn't get in trouble for helping her. Then Alex and Cassie kiss as if they are a real couple, except he's dead. She remembers Alex talking about where he lives. Cassie realizes she can have Max help her hack into Alex's computer and save all the files on her Hello Kitty flash drive. Cassie uses her smarts and charisma to get the doorman to give her Alex's room number. Once they are inside Alex's apartment, Cassie starts to get worried she might uncover the real Alex. Meanwhile, Annie is at a restaurant kitchen to complete the mob's favor. She has to deliver a message to someone. She hesitantly agrees to this even though she could be disbarred as a lawyer. While looking at Alex's bedroom, Cassie starts to reminisce about the good times she had with Alex. Max tries to hack into Alex's computer, but he isn't able to get into it without a second passcode. The two look through the house for a second password. Unfortunately, Cassie just finds things that puts Alex in a different light than what she had originally thought of him. Alex has tons of condoms next to a Bible, and a lot of drugs prescribed by different doctors. In her daydream, Alex confronts her and says she's an alcoholic. Cassie starts to deny this. Then she finds the second passcode. Suddenly, Miranda enters the apartment. She tries to get into the computer, but isn't able to do so without the second passcode. She throws the computer down, destroying it. Cassie then finds a letter from Lionfish addressed to Alex. She thinks this is all she needs for her next task. While outside, Cassie runs into a fling, Buckley. An FBI agent man can also be seen trying to hide himself from Cassie. At Sabrina's apartment, the FBI agents search for any clues for a struggle, but they don't find anything. Meanwhile, Megan is off doing her corporate espionage. Her husband Bill sees her standing at a motel and wonders what she is doing. She lies and says that she was trying to surprise her husband for some dirty roleplay for his birthday. Unbeknownst to Bill, Megan is stealing his corporate secrets and selling it to foreigners. Once Bill leaves, Megan receives more cash for her work. Then, Cassie and Max go to the address on the Lionfish envelope. It's a completely empty warehouse with nothing inside of it. However, on one of the floors is a server room. Meanwhile, Annie is going through prison security. She had stashed the envelope in her jacket. Once she's in front of the man she's supposed to transfer the envelope to, she asks to hold his hand, and he tells the man that his family will be taken care of. The man opens the envelope and it's suicide pills, so he takes them. At the server room, Max finds out that Alex had transferred $200 million to an offshore account. Max also finds a bunch of people's IDs, including Cassia's and Miranda's. Suddenly, they realize that someone is in the warehouse and is onto them. The two rush out quickly before they are caught. While running away, Cassie realizes that she loves to run to danger. The day when she was running to the crashed plane, Cassie was running to danger, not trying to save the people. Suddenly, a car appears in front of Max and Cassie. Max pushes Cassie aside to save her and he's hurt badly, and he calls Max and leaves a message. All she wants to do is tweet leftovers and just relax with Max once she gets home. The Hello Kitty flash drive is on the floor. At the hospital, Annie is upset at Cassie. Cassie believes she was being followed. However, Annie says the person who ran them over was a high 17-year-old. Cassie says all the proof is in the Hello Kitty flash drive. However, Annie doesn't want to hear the words Hello Kitty anymore. Annie tells Cassie to get her crap out of her apartment because she's tired of Cassie and her conspiracy theories. Later, Cassie calls every single person she knows on her phone because she refuses to be alone. Megan finds out that she had accidentally left Cassie a message in Korean when she was talking to a Korean man. She wants Cassie to delete it, but Cassie refuses to. Eventually, Cassie ends up in Buckley's place after doing it all night. The next morning, the two order bottomless mimosas and get really drunk. Buckley ends up pulling his pants down so they get kicked out. They go to a bar to continue their drinking. Cassie starts to get flashbacks of all her trauma again, but she keeps running away from it. At the bar, Cassie starts to notice the FBI agent that has been following her. Meanwhile, Megan has found Cassia's location and is ready to delete her message on Cassia's phone. She steals Cassia's phone while Cassie harasses the FBI agent. Megan was able to delete the message successfully. Buckley asks Cassie if she would run away with him right now. Cassie is creeped out by the question, so she excuses herself to the bathroom. Just outside the bar, the FBI agent gets killed from behind. Miranda steals his gun then leaves. Later, Cassie goes to Annie's apartment to drink some more with Buckley. Annie comes home pissed. Cassie thinks she can just reconcile and apologize, but Annie isn't having it and ends their friendship. In their drunk stupor, Buckley and Cassie steal a pink horse. They end up dropping it on someone's car. Police see this, so they arrested. When Miranda gets into her car, some random guy tries to choke her out. She's able to get the upper hand and stabs him in the eye though. Cassie is processed and locked up. She's forced to look back at her past. All of her good memories with her brother are shown in true form. She tells Davy she hates him. Then on his birthday, Cassie and her dad tease Davy. Her dad even calls him a bundle of sticks. Later, Cassie calls her brother to apologize for being part of his horrible childhood. The next day, Megan finds out that her husband has to go to work early because of computer issues. She's worried that she may be involved. Then, Cassie is bailed out by Miranda. While holding a gun to Cassia's head, Miranda forces Cassie to tell her where the money is. Cassie has no idea where it is. Miranda thinks Cassie works for some big man, but Cassie is just a flight attendant. Cassie calls Miranda a murderer, but Miranda is confused because she didn't kill Sabrina or the FBI agent man. Then Miranda accuses Cassie of killing Alex. Suddenly, Miranda realizes that Cassie is just a flight attendant. She realizes they are both in big trouble because whoever is behind all of this is powerful. Later, Cassie and Miranda catch up on how good Alex is. He was in the total dark of what his parents were doing under his company. Alex flew to Bangkok with his clients' money in order to save the clients from being scammed by his parents. Miranda thinks her boss Victor is involved with all of this. Victor probably sent Felix to kill Alex and is probably after Cassie now. Later, Cassie gets a call from Buckley. He's very serious about getting involved with Cassie. However, Cassie thinks her life is a mess right now, so she breaks it off with him. Then, Annie meets up with Cassie and Miranda. The two reconcile over their fight. Cassie hopes that Annie can grant Miranda immunity from the FBI in exchange for information on Alex. Miranda doesn't like this idea because she thinks Felix is coming to kill them both anyway. Meanwhile, Megan calls her husband to check up on how he's doing at work. Bill thinks some spyware was installed on his computer from North Korea. Bill is afraid for his job because his employers think he committed corporate espionage. Bill then realizes his wife was the one who did it. Miranda tells Cassie that they are running away, so they have to leave everything behind. They end up in an IR meeting because the person leading it is Miranda's contact to disappear. Cassie starts to feel uneasy being in an IR meeting. She hallucinates then rushes to leave. She sees a large rabbit in the hallway. Cassie remembers driving and drinking in her dad's truck. Suddenly, they crash into something. She wakes up to her dad dead at the wheel, and a couple dead in their car. Cassie sees a rabbit and starts to run away. Cassie explains to Alex that it was her fault that everyone died because her dad was her drinking buddy. No one ever knew that she was in the car with her dad that day because she ran away. It's exactly like how she handled the Alex situation. Cassie tells Miranda that she's sick and tired of running. They need to find the hidden money. Cassie realizes that the book Crime and Punishment that Alex had may have some secret info in it. Meanwhile, Annie looks for the Hello Kitty flash drive. She asks kids for help to reach it in the sewer grate. Back at Annie's place, Cassie grabs the book in her suitcase. They find the account numbers in the book. Suddenly, someone is trying to break into the apartment. They are able to close the door and escape through the fire escape. They jump between buildings to escape Felix. Unfortunately, Miranda has dropped the book. Felix grabs the book. Miranda tells Cassie that Felix has killed women and children. He even gutted cats and hung them in a tree. Cassie realizes that Buckley is Felix. She looks over to look at the man chasing them, and she confirms it. Later, Miranda comes up with a plan to trap Felix in Rome and kill him. The FBI agents find Cassia's fingerprints on the bloody broken bottle, hence, proving Cassie was there after Alex had died. Detective White wants to arrest Cassie now. However, Hammond thinks there's a bigger conspiracy, so she wants to go over the case again. The two stop fighting after finding out FBI Chavez was murdered. Meanwhile, Miranda is stalking Victor and kills his driver. She pinches him in the face and tells Victor that she can't believe the incompetency of the men he hired to kill her. Then, Victor tells Miranda how Alex was killed. Buckley, aka Felix, had threatened Alex with a broken glass bottle. Alex immediately tells him the location of the accounts in the book. Buckley doesn't care though, and decides to kill Alex anyway. Unfortunately, Buckley wasn't able to find the book and leaves. Miranda then tells Victor to get on the ground. He drops the book and shoots Miranda on the leg, but Miranda shoots him in the chest. She grabs the book and leaves. On their flight to Rome, Cassie apologizes to Shane about the funeral thing. Cassie realizes that Miranda didn't make it onto the flight. At the FBI office, Annie gives FBI agent Hammond the Hello Kitty flash drive that would exonerate Cassie. Annie sees camera footage of Buckley in Bangkok. She recognizes him and tells Hammond she knows him. They both realize that Buckley was the one who killed Alex. Once Cassie lands, she sees Buckley in his stupid getup. She grabs Buckley and pretends that Buckley is harassing her. Megan vouches for her. Eventually, Miranda is able to get on another flight to Rome. In her hotel room, Megan and Cassie talk about their problems. Cassie tells Megan everything about waking up next to a dead Alex. Cassie admits that they are absolutely friends, not just co-workers. Megan admits to selling proprietary information to the North Korean government. She says all her life, she feels invisible. She felt like having a secret felt amazing to her. She regrets everything now and hopes she can still fix it. Later in an elevator, Miranda and Buckley bump into each other. They have a knife fight. Eventually, Buckley knocks her lights out. Cassie takes matters into her own hands by getting her regular hookup guy in Italy to get her a gun. While waiting for the gun, Cassie remembers all the trouble that alcohol has gotten her into. She tells her inner child that her father's drunk car crash was not her fault. She leaves her alcohol behind when Enrico comes back with the gun. Enrico and Cassie get back to her hotel room. Enrico leaves to grab coffee for her. While in the bathroom, Cassie notices something in the bathtub. She uncovers an unconscious Miranda and Buckley standing over her. Cassie tries to leave, but Buckley drags her back in. When Enrico enters the room, Buckley and him fight. Buckley stabs Enrico in the stomach. Then Buckley admits that he really fell for Cassie. He loved the sex and her taste. Cassie admits that she thought about Alex the entire time. Cassie tries to get away, but Buckley grabs her. Buckley admits that he's been following Cassie since Bangkok. He's the one who had killed FBI agent Chavez and Sabrina. Cassie calls Buckley an absolute psychopath. She's able to stab Buckley with a knife. Then she shoots the gun at Buckley. In a shocking twist, Shane enters the room and shoots Buckley a second time. Later, Enrico throws a thumbs up at Cassie as he's rolled away in an ambulance. Shane admits to Cassie that he works for the CIA. He was hired to keep tabs on Megan, and now Megan is on the run. Cassie wonders if Miranda was okay. However, Shane says there was no one else in the room. Meanwhile, Megan calls her son. Her son says that his dad is crying in his room. Megan tells him to look in the ceramic rooster. She had hidden something in there earlier. She says goodbye to her son and cries. Her son opens up the rooster and finds cash, a flash drive, and a note from Megan saying she will fix everything. Once Cassie arrives at New York, Davy is there waiting for her. They reconcile and hug. Eventually, Cassie tells Annie that she is trying to not drink from now on. She's gone to 2-hour meetings. When Cassie goes to grab her wallet to pay, Cassie finds the crime and punishment book with a note from Miranda. The page with the account numbers was torn off though. During a flight, Cassie avoids taking a drink. Shane approaches her to tell Cassie about a job with the CIA. Cassie seems interested. She's about to have another Alex hallucination, but the room is empty this time, indicating that she has healed from her traumatic experience. That wraps up the first season of this show.
Subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on notifications and leave a like. It really helps the channel.